Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead on and call this Brawley City Council Successor Agency Community Redevelopment Agency meeting to order. And I truly want to welcome everyone here this evening to our City Council meeting, and hope everybody can get comfortable and we'll get started. Can we have the roll call, please?
The minutes will reflect all council members present.
We'll have the invocation by Pastor Troy Dowdy, and I would like to have Mayor Pro Tem George Nava lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mr. Mayor, council members, thank you for this opportunity to open your meeting in prayer. I appreciate it. Let us pray. God Almighty, God of heaven and earth, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, we honor you tonight by giving thanks for your many abundant blessings, both in our personal lives and for how you have blessed our city and community. Thank you, Lord, for the mayor and the members of this city council, for all those who serve our city, helping make it a city that is safe and desirable to live in. I pray for our mayor, for the various levels of city officials, and for the assembled council. I ask that you would give these individuals wisdom to govern the affairs of our city, a sense of welfare and the needs of our people of Brawley, a hunger for justice and righteousness, confidence in what is good and what is right, the ability to work together in harmony, even in difficult situations, personal peace in their lives and the lives of their family. I pray for the agenda tonight, Lord. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit the lives of the citizens of Brawley. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Face our flag, please. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Pastor Lee?
Seated.
I want to thank the pastor for those words of prayer. Thank you very much. And I want to thank Mr. Nawa for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is I need a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second. You're first. There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're going to move on to the next item, and I'm going to kind of change things up just a little bit. What I would like to do is move the presentations up before the public appearances. We've got some presentations we want to do this evening, and the certificates of appreciation to the Girl Scout Troop 7078 and the M&M 4-H for downtown Brawley beautification efforts. And we've got some of the parents and kids here today. We'd like to recognize them. And while they're coming up, it says, in appreciation for your dedication, service to the city of Brawley, Girl Scout Troops 7078, December 3rd, 2013. And the same thing for M&M 4-H, December the 3rd, 2013. Yeah.
Take them off the road. Get the mayor in there.
Get the mayor in there. I'm not sure we're all going to fit.
Come on, Dennis. Get in there, Dennis. Done. He forgot what it's like to be mayor, I guess. Working up to it.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Over here.
Get up there. Let's do this. I'm a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much. I recognize some of these Pop Warner cheerleaders out there. It's getting too cold, isn't it?
Bye, Robert.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda is the public appearance and comments, not to exceed 4 minutes. This is the time for the public to address the council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter's jurisdiction of the city council. The mayor will recognize you. When you come to the microphone, please state your name for the record. You are not allowed to make personal attacks on individuals or make comments which are slanderous or which may invade an individual's personal privacy. Please direct your questions and comments to the city council. And as everybody see, we're recording, so if someone's going to come up to the mic on this side of the room, please.
Mr. Mayor, council members, thank you for the opportunity to address you. My name is Mark Belshey. I live at 5117 East Tundra Drive in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm the executive director of the Rubber Payments Association. The RPA is a 501c6 nonprofit trade association that we promote the use of chrome rubber in asphalt applications. And our members include contractors, chrome rubber suppliers, consultants, equipment manufacturers in California, Arizona, Texas, New Mexico. We actually have a member in Saudi Arabia that just paved a road there in Riyadh. And I wanted to thank you for the use, the city continued use of asphalt rubber products. I'm mainly here because I'd written a letter to the council last week, and I wanted to reinforce our concern and our willingness to help in any way. We were asked by one of our members, American Pavement Systems, to provide comment today. APS is a very young company, just started up within the last year, I believe. Which the good news is they have brand new equipment, and they have a very experienced management staff. The principals I've known in this company for many years when they're with other companies, and I can vouch for their experience through personal affiliation. Our concern is there's a project out to bid, and we believe that the bid documents are unfairly restrictive. We believe through the pre-qualification process, they're really promoting pre-qualification and maybe in one direction. And we think that it's our opinion that this restricts the competition on the bid for good qualified bidders, and thus the city could incur higher prices as a result of it. I applaud the city's I applaud the city in the way that they're trying to spec out quality jobs. There's certainly that is very something that should be admired. And one of the things that they have in these bid documents is concerns about hot weather applications unique to this area. But the truth is, probably the more challenging portions of this work are in cold weather applications. But nonetheless, American Pavement Systems, the management team of American Pavement Systems has done this work in both climates and would certainly be well qualified for this. I think the point I want to try to make to the council and Mr. Mayor is that there is more than one contractor qualified to do this kind of work. And I ask the council to maybe reconsider or at least explore these bid documents to ensure a level playing field for everyone involved. And finally, I'd like to tell you that the Rubber Payments Association, again, we have a broad spectrum of membership, both nationally and internationally. We have many generic specs, and we would be more than happy to be a resource to your staff if you cared to pursue that. But yes,
Sir, we did receive that information, We will take your comments in consideration, and we appreciate you coming up and
That's all I ask.
and speaking tonight.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate that. Any comments from council? Okay.
Mr. Mayor and council members, I appreciate the opportunity to come here and present. My name is Mark Birch, MARCBERTSCH. My address is 1376 Calhoun Avenue, Ripon, California, 95366. Our company, American Pavement Systems, was a subcontractor to the parent low bidder, Marathon General, on the recently bid Brawley Streets Rehabilitation Phase 9 project. Just recently, 2 separate ARAM projects were bid in a 2-day period. Our project was not awarded due to issues with the bid document. The new language on the rebid guarantees that one bidder on the ARAM process is all that will be allowed. There could be several as a prime, but there will only be one on the ARAM due to the language. And I'll give you a little history of how this all came about. In the mid-1990s, the Southern California ARAM contractor developed and patented an emission control system used for capturing emissions on ARAM projects in California. Soon after the patent was approved, my former company, where I was general manager and vice president, signed a licensing agreement with the patent holder, which allowed us to apply binder on ARAM projects in California in exchange for paying royalties for every ton of binder applied. This licensing agreement had a distinct line running west to east on county lines near Bakersfield, dividing the state of California into 2 parts, north and south. Our company was based in Northern California, and the company which owned the patent was based in Southern California. The royalties paid in Southern California were approximately 10 times that of the royalties paid in Northern California. Therefore, it wasn't very cost effective for our company to compete on ARAMs that bid in Southern California during the lifespan of the patent. I have over 25 years experience in the chip seal industry, which is what an ARAM is. During our licensing agreement in California, our company performed hundreds of ARAM projects throughout Northern California, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, and Texas. We could compete anywhere in the United States except Southern California. This is why APS doesn't have the required experience in the Brawley area. Sometime around 2000, the patent holder formed a trade association. This trade association was formed as a way to promote and educate agencies about the values of ARAM. A few years prior to the patent expiring, employees of the trade association handed out contract documents to various agencies which would create sole source bidding. It wasn't intended that way, but that was the eventual result. The trade association was funded by the patent holder. My former company funded their own association and was used in the same manner, except the fact they never handed out bid documents that would eliminate competitors from bidding on ARAM projects. The first document required all bidders to have final permits from the local air districts prior to being able to bid on any project. This is similar to requiring a building permit prior to owning the land or having the plans drawn up. Air permits are very expensive, and requiring them to be in place prior to bidding a project is another attempt at limiting competition. It's one thing to ask for a temporary permit prior to bidding, but to have a final permit, it's a very difficult process and costly. The second document requires 5 years of past ARAM experience in whatever areas the projects were bidding. This again limited competition because one contractor, the patent holder, had controlled the entire Southern California market since the mid-90s. Now that the patent has expired, these 2 documents serve the same purpose as the patent, once again allowing the sole source for the application of the ARAM. I appreciate the city wants the highest quality standards, but this doesn't allow that. It eliminates qualified contractors from doing the work here. APS is a new company, but our key employees have been with us for many years. APS has the most modern ARAM fleet in the United States. APS has invested well over $20,000 to obtain air permits here in Imperial County. Therefore, we meet all legitimate criteria to perform the work in the county. We have the experience, we have the permits, we just can't get past the experience. It's so restrictive, we can't get past that. I have served as president of the California Chip Seal Association as an executive officer for the Rubber Pavement Association, as well as being a member of the California PPTG subtask group committees, which led to the development of the current Caltrans standard specification for asphalt rubber chip seals. We've been dealing with these similar bid documents with several Southern California agencies for the past 3 years, and generally, as soon as we educate the agencies in understanding they're being misled into a sole source bidding environment, they issue an addendum and other contractors are allowed to bid and perform the work. Here's a couple of questions you need to ask yourself. Our past experience was good enough to be awarded a 15-year license agreement with the patent holder to perform ARAM work. Yet now that the patent has expired, our experience is no longer valid. We can perform work on all of the surrounding highways in Imperial County. We've worked on Highway 86 prior to the patent. We've worked on Highway 8. We've worked on 111. We've worked on 78. This is all prior to the patent being in place. So we can work anywhere in Imperial County for Caltrans or anywhere else in the state for that matter, which has more roadway lane miles than any other state in the United States, but we can't perform work in Brawley. We performed ARAM work in Arizona with identical climates, yet we don't have the required experience to work in Brawley. I don't understand where the fear comes from.
Sir, I don't mean to cut you off, but we've read the complete document, and as I told the gentleman before, we'll take your comments into consideration, and we'll be working with staff.
All right, all we ask for is fair and competitive bidding environment. That's all we ask for.
We'll take your comments into consideration, and we've read the documents. This council has looked at it, and we'll do our due diligence to have a fair bid.
All right, appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else from the public like to come up? Brett.
Brett Hauser, Brawley PD. I just want to share a really. I just want to share a quick story. I was working last week after hours, and these four young men came into my station and wanted to turn in a lost wallet that had money in it. I thought that was really admirable. I didn't know it was going to coincide with this great event tonight, but I just want to recognize them and give them a gift certificate. So.
Good job, guys.
We held them up. They're going back to their basketball game.
Good job,
Thank
Brett.
you very much.
Good job.
I think it needs to be noted.
Yes.
Good young men.
Good job, guys. And Brett, thank you, Brett, for that.
We didn't get their names this time.
You didn't get their name.
I know, we get their names.
Okay, is there anyone else from the public that'd like to come up and address the council? Okay, seeing none.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there a second to approve the consent agenda?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Seeing none, we'll move on. We're going to move on to regular business. And the next item is 4A, which is the swearing in of Brawley Police Chief Michael Crankshaw. And I do have some comments I want to make before we get to that. And I would like to extend a special thank you to Commander Brett Hauser for taking reins of the department over the last several months. Commander Hauser, Sergeant Staff Cadell, and Agent Arnold Valdez has assumed many challenging duties during the interim period that this went on. The efforts are to be recognized and commended tonight. It's not always easy to step forward in the face of change. Of these three have made personal sacrifices to assume greater responsibilities to serve the city of Brawley. Succession planning is the key attribute to a healthy organization. It is our hope that people of Brawley benefit from the continued cultivation of our city staff. It's a rare opportunity this evening to celebrate a new member of the city's management team. Tonight gives the City Council a chance to extend a heartfelt welcome as the City of Brawley's new police chief, Michael Crankshaw, takes the oath of office. Mr. Crankshaw is a transplant to the Imperial Valley from East San Diego. He fell in love with the Imperial Valley 25 years ago. And I have to say, he's been here 25 years, moving from San Diego. He must love the place. So. Okay. He has held all police ranks in a neighboring agency beginning in 1988, and we appreciate our neighbors' investment in such a strong candidate for chief for the city of Brawley. Mr. Crankshaw is here with many members of his family and extended support system. Mr. Crankshaw is a father of 5, grandfather of 2. I would like to introduce Mrs. Crankshaw. His wife is here. Christina is here with him this evening.
And he's here too.
Well, okay. Christina is recognized in this momentous occasion for her family tonight, and we thank you in advance for supporting our chief in many efforts he will undertake in the city of Brawley. And at this time, I would like to ask Alma to come up and do the oath for the new chief of the city of Brawley.
Where are you going to
Right there.
Right there.
That'll do.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Michael Crenshaw,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
I will support
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith
I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
for purpose of evasion,
and that I will
that I will
well and faithfully
faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which
upon which
I am about to enter.
I am about to enter.
Well, let's see if you work.
Yes, let me, well. Let me say this, and then I'll have the chief say a few words. The community and city council have high hopes and expectations for our new staff member. The selection process determined that Mr. Crenshaw is a capable, focused, and driven professional with marked approachability. We look forward to working with Chief Mike Crenshaw and supporting the continued development of the Brawley Police Department. And at this time, I would like for Mike to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to apologize. I've been nursing a cold for about the last 3 or 4 days, so my voice is a little out. I'd like to first say that it's an honor to have been selected as a police chief of such a fine community as Brawley. I look forward to working with the committed men and women of the Brawley Police Department, as well as the community, the council, and the other department members of the city of Brawley. I am very dedicated and committed to this job, this profession, and I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crenshaw, and welcome aboard. And is there any comments from council?
Well, I'd like to welcome you, Chief Crenshaw. You know, I've had the opportunity to speak to you a couple of times now, and It's always been very, very positive, and I look forward to that continued relationship, working with council and working with your department. It's fantastic to see that they're here to support you. I think you have a great department, and you're a great addition to our community and to our city staff. Look forward to the relationship, and it's great to see 2 new officers come in today. And so, congratulations to you and to your family. Look forward to working with you, and congratulations again.
I also look forward to working with you, Mike, and we're real proud of our police department, and we know you'll continue those efforts, and we look forward to a great year, okay? Thanks.
And Mike, my name is Helen Noriega, and I will be coming to visit you because I have not seen the new station yet. Mr. Hauser, Officer Hauser.
Commander.
Yes, he introduced himself and asked me to come over. I haven't done that yet, but I do want to. Good luck. You have a great staff, and I know you'll do well.
And just for a little brevity here, but I do want to mention the work of the city it never sleeps. And I sure hope I'm not threatening you with that, Chief, that there won't be any sleep. But certainly the work that the men and women do with our public safety, they're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week doing what they do. I wholeheartedly welcome you. I do also want to make mention, I want to thank our staff, in particular our city manager that really put together what I thought was a very involved and fine process that got us to where we are today. I know that wasn't easy. I know change is not easy, but I certainly commend and really want to thank our staff. We're celebrating today, and then in particular, Christina. Welcome to the family here up here in Brawley, and I look forward to the years to come.
Chief Crankshaw, I'm very much looking forward to working with you. I see you have lots of support here in the room, not only our own staff, but many law enforcement professionals here in our valley. You see our former police chief, Mark Gilmore. I want to make sure I recognize him, as well as Chief Colon from the city of Imperial, and our dear commander from the city of El Centro, Mr. Eddie Medueno. So thank you so much for being great neighbors. And Chief McGinley, I see you back there, Chief McGinley. We received lots of support from the community in our selection process from law enforcement professionals, and we certainly gained from the insight and appreciate your leadership and hope you will continue to be a friend of the city of Brawley as Mr. Crankshaw takes on this new position. So welcome, Mike, and look forward to working with you.
Okay, good job. And with that said, welcome aboard again, Mike. And Mike, you want to introduce your family? Is that appropriate?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure. My wife, Christina.
Push him back out here.
My brother-in-law one, my other grandson, and his wife Anna.
And again, we want to welcome you and your entire family to the city of Brawley, and as part of our family. So you guys are welcome. Okay, the next item on the agenda is 4B, the City of Brawley Housing Element Update for 2013-2021. This is actually a resolution that has
Mr. Mayor, I hate to interrupt. Any chance we could take a quick break to clear out the...
Sure. Yeah. We'll take a quick break, let everything settle, and then we'll come back and come to this item.
Shirley, could you turn off the AC?
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
What's happening, man? You're freezing?
Helen's freezing. Helen's freezing. I'm freezing.
I've seen her.
Clear the room. You need to up in Bowville Library too. It's a shortage.
Oh, I didn't change. I'll be back in tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the city of Brawley. You guys should be great.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Like you guys have been together for a lot of years.
It's going to be an adventure, huh? Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Yes, we got the flowers.
Let's stay by ourselves. We're going to stay by ourselves.
Hey, how are you? Welcome. That's not good. Some shooting days.
How are you, my friend? Good, you?
I appreciate that. I really Everybody should.
Hi, Mr. Good, how are you?
Things going okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Tests are all coming back good?
Yes. Yes. Thank God.
You're on my prayer list. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
But you know, if we didn't have it,
Oh, yeah.
it's noisy.
Yeah, it's noisy and you can hang the meeting there. Listen for days. It's just noisy. It makes a lot of noise and you can't hear the people. They're turn up the system. But you know what? It's too cool. Yeah, it was so fast. Just turn it up before we start the video and then turn it off.
No, cool it down and then.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
No, it's good to listen. Where is it raining? Do you know? Is it in Broad? It's raining?
Not here.
Yeah, it was, right? Well, it says the weather report shows rain.
Yeah. For tomorrow.
It says showers right now.
Yeah, it was raining somewhere. Somewhere on Chris.
San Diego.
Who knows?
How was your Thanksgiving, brother?
It was good.
Oh, not ate too much, man. Hey, too many relatives, man.
Last one, council members report to you.
I think we skipped it because
So now we'll do the on the farmers market and stuff.
yeah, because they want to. I think they want to request their salary.
Well, that's on the agenda.
And I thought it went really well.
Oh, it did. It was fine.
I thought it went.
I don't
really
think
well.
they didn't sell it. But you know, it's nice to have it.
Yeah, in the mornings like that.
It's a family. It's not like the chicken festivals in the evening. It's more just a family.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I don't know. Beer sales are they required there?
No, but I don't mind them doing it.
Neither do I.
It wasn't out of line.
I don't think that they're going to make any money.
I just don't think it's a big money to
In the morning like that.
Yeah, you're not going to make any money with it. It's going to cost you money.
Mm-hmm. And it may grow with time, but it may not. I mean, it's just,
They may need to change the time.
No, the time was good, man. A lot of heads up there.
It's good, yeah. Without competing with some of the other.
Yeah. It was a good venue.
I wonder about this.
Dennis.
You need to replace that.
Sorry, didn't come over. Later.
Dennis, I always miss your party. The day I was going to go.
That's right.
And my wife was at the time in San Diego that day. So
I don't think Imperial Valley
I'll
does
make it
ties
next
in the summer.
I think we need no ties during the summer and tinted windows for our cars. Our poor kids get in the hottest car ever.
No, I honestly, I meant to go this year. It's just-
Yeah,
Yes.
it does.
Jeff, come
But you can't do the front one.
Yeah, I mean, you can pin them to,
you guys together.
that's it. Yeah, you don't want to get pulled over and they put that little.
Oh, like George, I see that.
Arizona.
I go to this, man.
Dark and
Yeah,
low.
New Mexico.
We just make a point one of these years and just go
All the way around.
All over.
Are we ready to resume the meeting?
Yes.
I think the chief is going to come in and then we'll start. Okay.
He's wanting to go. He's gonna have dinner now.
He doesn't want to stay.
It's already been a long day. He's like, I'm expected to stay. I didn't know that. I know. She's like, I know. She's already. Yeah, I want to.
I see little
We'll keep it short.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the City of Brawley Housing Element Update for 2013 through 2021, and Mr. Gates is up to the mic.
Thank you, Mayor Campbell, council members, Gordon Gates, Planning Director. The housing element is one of the required elements of the general plan. It is unique in that it gets updated more frequently than the other elements of the general plan. All of them can be updated any time when there's any changes, but this one, because housing and community development wants to have updated numbers, it previously got updated every 5 years. Now, this is the first time we're now on an 8-year cycle because they wanted to correspond it with the regional transportation plan of your metropolitan organization, which is SCAD for us. So the transportation and the housing element are now linked. So we're on an 8-year cycle now. HCD already reviewed this document. They're satisfied with it.
There was no snags, right?
There was the comments that they had. We did address them,
Okay.
and one of the ones is that ordinance that we had about a month ago about the transitional and supportive housing that we added in there. There's one more I got to do, but we have another while to do that. It's reasonable accommodation, which addresses disability and things like that. It just has to be written in the ordinance. They want it that way. So this is consistent with our general plan, and if you will, Mr. Mayor, I would like to bring up the consultant, one of the consultants that worked on it with Ralph Castanet and Associates,
Sure.
Ms. Jean Lauren, to give you a small, more detailed report, and if you have any questions for either of us, please feel free.
Come on up now.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, Ralph Castaneda sends his regards. He had knee surgery last week and didn't think he wanted to drive this early, and he's doing very well. So he and I worked together on we have another grant with you for a Sustainable Communities grant. Ralph and I are working on that together, and we're working on several others. We've worked together for about 15 years off and on, so we're both independent. I think Gordon has covered most of it. I want to congratulate the city. You're one of the few cities in Southern California to get through the process in such a very quick, it's been several months, but by housing element standards, it's a very quick and easy process. I congratulate you on adopting all of the ordinances that the state required. We sometimes don't know why the state requires individual items, but as long as the cities can comply, I guess that's very important. I can answer any questions you might have. Other than that, the actions you have to take tonight is you actually have to make the motion to adopt the housing element. The word adopt is very important because you have to adopt it within 120 days of October 15th, which would be, of course, February 15th, 2014. You're in plenty of time. That adoption actually gives you then the right to update this housing element every 8 years instead of every 4 years. Cities who do not adopt it and have it approved by the state by the 15th of February of 2014 will have to then update their element every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations again. You have a wonderful staff. They've been very easy to work with, and we're very pleased to be part of the city.
Yes. Thank you very much, ma'am. And before I open up the public hearing, I would like to give council a chance if they have any questions or comments before we move on.
Just the only thing is I'm a stickler for spelling, and on page 4678 or whatever of this document, determination and preparers is incorrectly spelled. Preparers is incorrectly spelled. You might want to just correct that for the record.
On page 46?
46. If you look at determination and preparers, there's an extra S or E in there, I think. See it?
I haven't caught it, but I can catch up with you after the meeting if you'd like.
Okay.
We'll catch up with that. Thank you.
George?
I'm fine.
Donnie?
I have no comment or question.
None.
You okay? Okay. Ma'am, I want to thank you so much for working with our staff and getting this done. And Gordon, thank you for your continued work. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead on and open up the public hearing to the public to see if there's any comments. And at this time, we'll open up the public hearing.
Comments, Lloyd?
Okay, seeing no one stepping up, I'll close the public hearing and move on to the resolution. And the resolution reads, review and adopt resolution number 2013, resolution of the City of Brawley, California, adopting the housing element of the general plan and adoption of the negative declaration. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution?
I make a motion to review and adopt resolution number 2013, resolution of the City of Brawley, California, amending the housing element of the general plan and adoption of the negative declaration.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we need to do roll call? We okay? Okay. Okay. We'll move on to the next item. Review and approve sale of alcohol on city premises during scheduled farmers markets. And Richard and I believe the chamber presidents here will let them come up.
Thank you. Mayor Campbell, members of council and city staff, Richard Rubio, Parks and Recreation Director. Well, I'm here again tonight asking for your authorization to sell alcohol on city premises for the next 6 farmers markets that we have scheduled in Brawley. Our first farmers market got off to an incredible success. It was a great start, great turnout from the community. It was well attended, nothing but positive comments about it. So Jason Zara, our executive director with Brawley Chamber of Commerce, is also on hand. If you have any questions or concerns about the sales of alcohol at our next scheduled farmers markets, we're here to answer any questions you may have. Jason?
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Great, thank you.
Still can come up
You can still come up and tell us.
I was just going to let Richard know that I was there pretty much the whole day. And I tell you, I didn't see anyone getting out of line, or there was no commotions whatsoever. I mean, everybody was pretty happy. The food was great. The drinks were great. The vegetables were beautiful. So I applaud you guys for the hard work that you put out. Thank you.
Jason did quite a bit of work himself.
Thank you, Council. I just wanted to say, other than thanking you for the approval, to let you know that we're going to be keeping the beer garden separated from the main drag as we did in the previous event. We're trying to find the right balance between being a family event and having the beer that people are looking for. I understand my sales pitch needed a little work last time, so I will mention that the beer was the single greatest line item on the profit of the event as well. So it is an important part of what we're doing. It lets us continue to present these events that I think do draw a great crowd. but at the same time, we're going to be moving everything. We're tripling our produce order. We're doubling our bread and pie orders. We are increasing the number of vendors. We've tripled the number of food vendors we're going to have, and we're keeping the amount of beer the same. So it's, well, it certainly helps the event. We understand the farmers market is all about the produce and the family and the crafters, and we want to thank you for making that possible.
Another comment, sorry. Hopefully it won't be during Imperial's farmers market, but I know we had plenty of our people here with us, but just try to work so that I know some left our place to go to Imperial. So just
Sure.
a thought.
This next one happens to be the same day as Christmas in a small town. 2 months after that, it's going to be the same day as the rib cook-off. So, but as we all know, the good weather in the valley is a little bit limited. So if you want to try to take 7 Saturdays and not be on the same day as anybody else, it's pretty much an impossible task. So we are working with the Joint Farmers Market Committee to attempt to schedule in the future to avoid conflicts. I can pretty well guarantee there won't be 2 farmers markets by that name on the same day. But once you throw in the honey festivals and the rib festivals and the carrot festivals, it's so hard to avoid a conflict unless you want to put them out there in the middle of August when nobody else wants to be out in the park either. So, but I appreciate the feedback, and we're well aware of it, and it's something we're doing our best to mitigate. But there's only so many days in the week.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Is there any comments from anybody in the public that wants to comment on the farmers market?
I enjoyed it. Very nice event.
Nice event. Thank you, guys. Very nice. Thank you.
I just want to comment on our director. Is Grovember over, or we're going with the look and we're going to continue it? Excellent. Excellent.
He must have talked to the boss.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's right.
The wife said, okay, you can keep it. Okay, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda is departmental reports. Mrs. Benitez.
Good evening, Mayor Campbell, Council Members, Shirley Bonias, Personnel and Risk Management Administrator. Not much has changed since last time, except we get a new chief, and we also sworn in a new officer this morning that will be presented to council next council meeting. His name is Officer Pham. On the report, we still have the fire marshal recruitment ongoing. Chief Peraza and I have met, and we will be interviewing our candidates a week from this Friday. So we're going to do it, Friday the 13th. And hopefully we'll have a candidate to move forward through the recruitment process on that one. And then also I'm working with our division operations manager. We've looked at the candidates for lab analysts. We're working on a possible solution to the recruitment challenges there, and we'll be presenting a possible solution to our city manager. Any questions?
Any questions from council? Any questions from the public? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shirley. Okay,
Mr. Mayor, if I may note for a moment that we do have a Pano update available for you, should you wish to have that PowerPoint presented.
Yes. Good. Yes.
Is it up here? Did you find it? Yep.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Council Members, Yasmin Arellano, Public Works Director. I would like to provide an update on the construction of the Highway 86 Pano Road intersection project. The original construction startup date was September 2013, and this is when I talk about original. This is after we finished the issues with the utilities relocation. Our startup was September. This is the original, and the original construction schedule allowed for 180 days, and the estimated completion was March of 2014. And these are some pictures of when the utility work was being done. The actual construction startup was September 26th of 2013, and the actual estimated completion date was March 26th of 2013. Hazard Construction provided an accelerated construction schedule that moved up that date, startup from September 26th to January 3rd of 2014. However, we encountered some issues during construction, such as the relocation of a traffic signal pole that was conflicting with existing AT&T utilities. And I would like to remind council that the AT&T conduit was installed during the Pacific Century housing development, and then what was underground, it was the power pole removal, and they pulled the cables, and that was the utility relocation that took place on the AT&T. So we had some issues with the pole relocation. We also had issues with the water line installation and the space limitations, because we had this utility corridor where we had to fit cable company and also Time Warner Cable and the gas company. The water line installation required additional thrust blocks in order to protect the utility, and also we encountered an issue with a shallow reinforced concrete pipe on the Caltrans right-of-way, and that Caltrans requested protection of this pipe. This pipe only had about a foot of cover, and the encroachment permit was authorized by Caltrans as with the existing cover. But then after field inspection by Caltrans staff, they requested the protection of this pipe by a reinforced steel concrete bridge, because it was on the eastbound right turn pocket as you go southbound into Highway 86. So with the additional traffic, our consultant, Nasland, provided a detail that was just approved today as of 5:30 by Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Rizzuto, and which provided us authorization to proceed with the work. Staff has tried to contact Hazard, but we don't have an update on the construction startup. Hopefully, it'll be. We're trying for as soon as possible.
Okay, just for clarification, Jasmine.
Yes.
We do have the go-ahead to start construction back on the project.
We got it
Right.
this afternoon at 5:30 by Caltrans.
Okay.
We tried contacting Hazard, but we were unsuccessful contacting Hazard, but we were successful contacting the subcontractor, which is A&R Construction, who indicated that they will, as soon as Hazard gives them the go-ahead, they will come back to the project.
Okay. What's the estimated cost for the concrete bridge to protect Caltrans pipe?
We don't have that information at this point.
Well, I'm assuming the city of Brawley is going to have to bear that cost.
Yes, it will. And we submitted as part of the construction details that we provided to Hazard. There was a change that Caltrans required, which was to embrace the pipe. We have a cost so far on some of the work, but we don't have the entire. I cannot provide you tonight with the full construction cost of the embracement of this pipe, and we'll get that as soon as possible.
Okay, and then what's the estimated time of completion? I mean, can we have an idea of
the estimated time of completion? We try to project. We are looking at mid-February now, which we're still within the 180 days. But as I presented earlier, the contractor had provided an accelerated time frame that moved the project completion from March 26th to January 4th. Right.
We don't foresee any other problems.
No. Not really, and these are some of the pictures that I wanted to provide you. This is the water line, this is the signal pole installation, and this is on the east side of the intersection.
My signs, thank you. On AT&T, when they had to do the relocation, was it where the road was going to be built? And if it was, did they not know that there was going to be a road there?
No, the AT&T had to do with the undergrounding of the poles. We had to underground, and that was a condition of approval of one of the housing developments some years ago. However, the developer abandoned the project, and the work was never completed. It was partially completed. So then when the city started this project, it was one of our items of work to underground these utilities.
So the goal is to have Panel Road open and operation February. We're talking about the middle section of Panel Road and the complete project.
The goal, if we don't have any more delays, mid-February, yes.
Okay. I'm good.
I'm sorry, one question. The contractor, are there any costs that are being passed on to us for the delays?
Yes, they are, and we are at this point still having conversations with Southern California Gas Company, and but we don't have a final detail to present to council at this point. It just been
So there is a cost that we're bearing because of the delay, right? But even if the construction timeline was they anticipated ending in March, it still falls within that time.
Yes, sir. But I would like to remind you that council awarded the bid on February of 2013, and the city issued a notice to proceed on March of 2013 with an allowance of 8 weeks for the utilities to finish the work.
That's right.
The utilities had been notified since August of 2012. From conversations from when the city took the project out to bid, we felt very confident that their indication was that they were going to be done with the utility relocation on March 2013. Staff felt very confident that if we allowed 2 additional months and that's what we built up that time into the project. So even though the city issued notice to proceed of March 2013, we asked the contractor to proceed with construction of May 2013. The utilities were not done, and the city was not able, and the contractor was not able to proceed until September 26, 2013. So we experienced those months of delay between May and September.
So they're penalizing us for equipment mobilization, basically.
Supervision and equipment, sir.
Mr. Mayor, if I may offer, we are in the process of negotiating shared expense with the gas company. And we have been successful in working with Hazard on the number of days of delay that are going to be counted against the city. Now the discussion is centered with the utility company on what portion they're going to carry as a result of their delay in utility relocation work.
Yeah, because the delay and impact is caused by someone other than the city of Brawley. So,
Do you have an estimate of what that's going to cost, the delay cost?
Not a final estimate, sir.
Could you bring that back to council, though?
Sure, we will.
Okay.
We will bring it as part of a contract change order.
Okay, we appreciate that. I mean, things happen. We understand that. And, any other questions from council? Any questions from the public? Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I didn't mean to put you through that, but I called and asked for an update because I was just concerned because there was no action going on over there, and we've been back and forth with this thing, and even Mr. Kelly sitting there in the audience, we've met with the folks on Julia, we've met with the folks on Willard, and you know, and I'm not blaming staff by no means. Don't get me wrong. We would like to get this street open and have it open and open in the right manner to ease some of the traffic and mobilization to our shopping. And I think that's going to enhance growth on the other side of Highway 86. And staff done a good job with the water and sewer lines that was put in there because I understand we had a undersized infrastructure there. So they took care of all that in this process. So I want to thank you guys for that. Okay, with that said, we'll move on to the next item, which is council member reports. And I'll start on this end this time.
Oh, interesting there. Well, I was able to attend the Farmers Market. I thought that was a great event, and it's good to see staff out there as well. And I'm hoping your book sale went well, Marja. How many did you sell?
We sold enough that we only brought in enough that we're not going to have to sell in December because we don't have enough to sell in December.
Okay.
So that made us very happy. And at $1 a bag, we still made close to $250.
Fantastic. It's good when you don't have to carry everything back in. You know, that's right. Just take them all. There you go. Whatever fits in the back of your truck, $2. There you go. There we go. Well, it was a great event, and I'm glad that I was able to attend. And it's been great. I had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you all did as well. And look forward to working with the new chief and with the new members of staff and another officer as well. And so just hope everything goes well for everybody here. That's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Mr. Coach.
Okay. I also attended the farmers market. Thought it went very well. A lot of people from the Brawley area did attend that, and I thought that was a neat thing. And I think everybody had a good time. I know I did. I also attended the IVEDC annual dinner in Calexico, and that was a well-attended event, and several city staff and city council members were there. And I thought that went very well over in the Calexico area. And then also I attended the chamber executive meeting, or their executive board meeting at 7 a.m. in the morning, which is early for me, but I have been attending that and giving a city report to them on a regular basis, and I did attend the one this month. And so that's what I've done.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. Mrs. Noriega?
Again, thank you, Jason and Richard, for the hard work at the farmers market. It was really nice to be out there and being congratulated after my win to the city council. And again, I want to thank everybody for all of their hard work, not just the farmers market, but during the days that are coming forth and during Christmas. I know that Rosanna's here till late hours, and there's several people that come early and stay late, and it's really nice to see that we got our heart and soul into this. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Morton.
Sure. Since our last meeting, one of the meetings I was able to attend is our Airport Commission meeting. And again, I also want to commend all our volunteers that serve and put their time into that. There's a big project coming up, as we know, and they're actually doing their due diligence and hard work actually to help us facilitate that, along with our fixed base operator out there. So again, my certain recognition there of the work that they're doing on the Airport Commission. I do have a little announcement I do want to make with the library. Did not meet with the board because we haven't had a meeting since that. But I do want to announce we have an Angel Tea coming up at the library this Thursday at 5:30. I think I'm required to be there, so I'm definitely going to be there, and I want to. Unfortunately, is that just want me to announce it? Yeah. Well, and I know if the board and Marjo and her staff, are behind this, it's going to be a good time. You mentioned tamales, right? So yeah, need not say more. Now, I hate to follow that up with Thanksgiving. I'll tell you, I did my share of eating, but as I said before, I certainly hope staff, our citizens, my fellow council members, everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I'm sure that kicks off the rest of the holidays here. Unfortunately, I was unable to make the farmers market, but Jason, I'm glad that you're having 6 more, right? So sure to look forward to that. So other than that, I once again welcome our new chief. I think it's been a great year of some transition and change, and I look forward to being part of that. And once again, I think it's going to make 2014 very exciting. So welcome aboard one more time, and thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the holiday.
Thank you, Mr. Well.
There was one more. Sorry, Mr. Mayor. I am being advised, get the facts about teenage drinking.
Yes, and the reason I asked him to announce that is because in as much as I do not like to say this, in our high school, there's just so much alcohol and drugs that are going in and coming out. So we really need to have our eyes open and our ears, because our kids are being made sellers and whatever else, and it's very sad. So please, see if you can get your families to go to these if you know that they have teenagers and going to the high school, and even 8th grade and up to 6th grade, beginning at 6th grade. So we really this is going to be at the library on December the 10th. So if you know of anyone that falls in that category, please have them come to that meeting.
Okay. Thank you all for that. I don't have very much to report. The farmers market was really a nice event, and I appreciate all the work that our staff do. And again, Chief, we want to say it again, welcome aboard. You're part of the family on the north side of Keystone.
Yeah. Right.
We think regional, but no, I'm just joking. We're not that way. I get teased a lot because I actually grew up in El Centro, but I've been in Brawley for so long, I've kind of forgot.
Thank God.
Yeah,
how far south that is. Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, I do, again, I want to thank staff for everything that they do, and as my colleagues have said, I wish everybody had a happy, blessed holiday. I wish you all well, and I ask God to continue to bless you guys and your families. Thank you for your dedication. City Manager's report.
I have some great news to share with you that was provided to me by our Parks and Rec Director, and that is that the Cesar Chavez event this year has been moved to Main Street.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to host in the heart of the city of Brawley, and very proud of staff and their abilities to share in what kind of a venue this can be in the downtown when all of us pull together to make it happen. So very pleased to share that with you tonight.
I think the Mariachi Festival showed that people could get together, and that was a beautiful, beautiful event. That was wonderful.
Also wanted to report out that City of Brawley was a recent attendee at the Caltrans External Affairs meeting. All of the local jurisdictions participated, and our downtown transit station was featured as one of the primary items for everybody's learning. And Stephen Sullivan, who oversaw the project, and our engineering staff was there to give an update of what we planned, what we encountered, and what we accomplished. So it was great to have the City of Brawley's achievements featured by Caltrans. I have distributed a potential date for the transit station and Gold Line ribbon cutting. We won't know until tomorrow. We're in the process of installing the signage and doing the curb-related painting for the new locations. We may have an issue with installation of all the signs, the availability of signs for installation. So the intent of the event was to really celebrate not just the physical built location, but the fact that we're expanding the number of stops throughout the city of Brawley. So I'll be getting back with you a little bit later in the day tomorrow once we have the sign delivery confirmed. We recognize that it's very hard to find dates in the month of December, but we're hopeful that we can get one of those dates to work that don't conflict with the holidays. So that's kind of a preview of coming attractions relative to the ribbon cutting. Also wanted to note Thursday of this week is the SCAG Economic Summit, and they will be attending along with a number of other city managers from the Valley and elected officials to do an in and out trip to Los Angeles for the day. So I wish the library great success in their event, and we've got plenty of staff there to support that activity that day. That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Any questions from council?
No.
I'm fine. Thank you, Rosanna. The next item is the treasurer's report.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. City attorney? City clerks? In closing, I'm sorry I should have mentioned this during the council reports, but Rosanna, sometime after the holidays, I would really like for us to schedule a strategic planning meeting, something kind of short, to look at some of the goals and stuff, and for Helen, and to take a real quick at our norms and procedures and that, so we're all on the same page, and we can look at some of the projects that's coming up in the future that we'd like to take a look at. And I'm gonna be upfront with you. I really got Main Street on my mind, so I really want us to look at that and do what we can to change the way we live downtown Main Street in that 500 and 600 block. So if after the holidays, if we can kind of get that scheduled.
Yes, happy to.
Okay. With that said, we'll adjourn the regular meeting and go into closed session. And I want to thank everybody for attending the meeting this evening. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, everyone.